Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Newsflash. We are live for a very exciting one today. We're going to be live reacting to, and I'm going to see how long I can subject myself to, the Republican National Convention, which is on live tonight. It's around 9:42 on Tuesday, August 25th as we watch this. So there's going to be a lot of fun speeches, a lot of fun things to watch, and we will be experiencing the Republican National Convention in all of its gloom and doom. Oh, this is the night when Rudy Giuliani's speech. I know we already missed Nick Stanman, and there's not that much longer left, so we will have to watch. And then we'll do this again pretty soon. I think we should do this again on Thursday, but I'll actually do it right. I think it actually goes to 11. I hope we have another hour of here. So this looks like I'm sensing an Iowa lady or some kind of Midwestern lady because she's already talking about, I don't know who it is. I think it may be the governor of South Dakota. Is it? I believe it is. Yeah, but she changed her hair. It's Kristi Noem. She is speaking tonight. Excuse me, sorry for the static there. But yeah, no, it's Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa. She's dealing with a lot of problems. I completely confused Kim Reynolds and... yeah. And Kristi Noem. She really did change her hair. But yeah, they're also, in fact, dealing with a massive storm where there's power being knocked out to almost all of them. They're really having a tough time getting things back up there. It's been powers out for 2 weeks. And Kim Reynolds is out there talking about Trump is doing great. We're all doing great, guys. And the thing with people, I mean, it's not really nice. Here's Mike Pence. And I do apologize. I just did realize that. My bad. That's really pretty cringy.
A country where a boy born into poverty in a log cabin.
There's nothing I can do about that,
right
folks.
Here on the frontier of Indiana, could educate himself,
Skipped
become
it.
a lawyer. Become a
There's probably
president
about 30
of the United
seconds there. My
States who would
bad. I
preserve
apologize.
the Union, abolish slavery.
But you kind of know what was
and
happening.
save the
Kim
nation.
Reynolds was talking about the storm, governor of
As a fellow
Iowa,
Hoosier,
and
visiting Lincoln's boyhood home
governor of
has
Iowa.
always been a treasured experience for me and my family. It's a place
Now
that
we're doing
made
founding father humping as if Abraham Lincoln would have been a Republican today. The president who freed the slaves.
The land of opportunity.
I mean, I guess you could say.
As President Donald Trump declared at Mount Rushmore, in America you can do anything. You can be anything. And together, we can achieve anything. Every day,
Except for
President
a welfare
Donald Trump is
state.
fighting to protect
That is the
the
funniest thing about
promise
this.
of America's
This rhetoric of, anything we can do, we can achieve anything. It's so
fighting
impossible.
to expand
Except
the
for
reach of
any
the
kind of
American
creation of any kind of
dream.
welfare state.
And on
We could always
every
raise the military
single
budget. We
day
could always do that.
without
We could win any
President
war,
Donald
hypothetically,
Trump
quote
has been
unquote.
fighting for you.
But
So
we
tonight, I'd
cannot.
like to
We
introduce you
cannot
to a few
possibly
remarkable Americans who represent
provide
that
for our
solemn
Americans.
pledge, who embody our president's unbreakable devotion to ensuring that America is a land of unlimited opportunity for all. Jack is an 8-year-old from Wisconsin who was struggling academically and socially in school. But Jack's mom, Sarah, who works 3 jobs to support her son, applied for Wisconsin's
Turn up a bit.
school choice voucher program.
We're glad that we were able to get the
I
school
see where this
choice
is going.
voucher to go to that school. With Jack, he would have
Yeah, because that is the best way to do it. Everybody says in education that's the best way to do it.
The option to
The
go to a
most,
school
the
that
best
fits
regulated,
him has
most
been
effective,
a real game changer for us.
most
And
fair, most
I
even
know that
playing field,
because of that
the school
opportunity
choice
that he's
crowd.
going
That's what they're
to
all about. We all
succeed
know
and
that.
he's going to achieve that goal of being an apparatus engineer, if that's what he's
And I think I did hear a
with.
really, really good point about this Republican convention was pretty much in response to the Democratic convention. If you look at what went on there, it was pretty simple. All of really what you had to do is, like, the main rhetoric for the convention is that Joe Biden, very nice guy, he understands pain. That was a big thing that they understood. It was almost like the point of his presidency was to slowly nurse America to sleep after its 240 years of prominence, but whatever the hell it's been. Like they've had a good time, but it's slowly time to nurse us back to the the hole from whence we came, and Joe Biden's going to be the man to do it. He's going to be the funeral for America. I heard that said a few times by some prominent people. I think that was a really great way of putting it, but it was also Joe Biden's really nice. He understands pain. He gets you. But the big part of it was Donald Trump's bad. He's a stain on our nation, all that kind of rhetoric that we are so familiar with Democrats using, especially kind of more MSNBC resistance Democrats using. And I mean, if you just keep doing with that, if you keep going with that sentiment, all the Republicans have to do really is prove to the voters in their biggest stage ever that Donald Trump's not a bad guy. And they will put him in the situations to make him seem affable. Like whether he's talking with people who have had their paychecks saved by the PPP program. Like if he just seems affable enough, that will really put a big stick in a lot of what the Democrats are trying to do. If they make Trump likable, which is going to be a pretty tough task, especially since the way he's handled the COVID crisis, if they make him seem likable enough, like they seem like he's a friendly guy and he really cares, if he seems like he cares for the little man, there's a big part of what helped him in 2016 when he took that convention nomination 4 years ago. I am standing for the forgotten man. The forgotten man is forgotten no longer. Like, I will be your voice. Like, they love him for that stuff. One of his most prominent guys, he literally named his Bill Mitchell, he's a Trump sycophant. He named his radio station Your Voice Radio because of that convention speech. And I think that's so telling as to what drove Trump to victory, what drove Trump to success in 2016. It was that people thought that he was out there, I mean, at least somewhat for them. And if he looks like he cares about this crisis and Joe Biden, I mean, there's not much else to Joe Biden other than that he's better than Trump. I mean, we've seen it from time and time again. But it really, if that kind of goes away, if they make Trump look more palatable, and they do that effectively, which is going to be very, very hard, I think the Democrats can be in real trouble.
Only to see those promises broken.
So Mike Pence is doing his founding fathers rant here as we return to the convention.
General Motors closed its plant in Lordstown, Ohio. President Donald Trump refused to stand by and watch it happen. And as Gio observed,
this is a fact check moment right here.
Reached out to General Motors to find a way
if he really
to
saved all those jobs.
to Lordstown.
And Mike Pence is getting featured pretty prominently here.
To create Lordstown Motors.
President Trump says, this is how we fix it. And I thought, well, that's a simple solution. There's no other president who could have done it. There's no one that has even tried to do it. President Trump's a doer.
But this stuff with the jobs, however, if it's true or if it's not true, it can really hit the right tone with the right people, the union guys that got pissed off, rightfully so, at the crap Hillary did. And that was a big part of Trump's coalition the last time around. So this is good rhetoric for them, even if it's not entirely true.
Pastor Aaron Johnson. Today, he's the executive director of the Tulsa Dream Center, a nonprofit that provides education and medical services and food to those in need. AJ, you've got a great personal story. When you see the way this president, this administration have been leaning in to create opportunities, investments in communities around the country to create jobs,
and it really is. With this kind of rhetoric, it's very funny how much they sound kind of like a Hillary Clinton type, lean in identity politics liberal. So we're leaning in to provide opportunities, and they kind of use that kind of corporatized SJW language, which is very, very funny.
For us to give these moms to have an opportunity to take more money on their check, on their paycheck, home back to them, to have their children be able to go to a school that they may not have the opportunity to otherwise, it means so much to us. There's been so much greater opportunity for individuals to come together in any walk of life. People have really been able to see such a positive change and been filled with hope, especially throughout this time.
Lydia left
That's the question. Is this gaslighting, clear gaslighting, going to work?
Pursue a better life here in America.
Oh, I think we're doing like
While raising their 4 daughters,
fleeing
Lydia
from Cuba
and her
socialism
husband
story.
Run a small business that creates security systems. But just months after their business was up and running, our nation was struck by a global pandemic. That's when President Donald Trump stepped in.
Oh, PPP,
and
I
enacted
see.
the largest
It's a little bit of
financial
both.
relief package
But this
in
is,
American history.
I mean,
Her small business
taking credit for
stayed in
this
business.
can be, there are deep flaws with the PPP program. It's very, very protection. It's a very, very poor welfare program. It's a very, very poorly run insurance program that probably most of the benefits ended up going to rich people. But if you can spin it this way, and if you can spin it this way effectively and unchallenged, it can make it look like you're out there saving the jobs of people. And there would be a grain of truth to it, because I'm sure there were probably some like legitimate people like they're talking to right now that did have good help from that.
because of the support of family and friends, the government.
Actually talking about
I tell my
governmental
children,
sports.
You know, they are born here in the U.S. And I tell them, you are so blessed to live in America.
Here at Abraham Lincoln's boyhood home, a young man would grow up to become the first Republican president
Looks very
of the United
green
States.
screened.
And today, another Republican president is fighting to preserve that same noble legacy of freedom. And President Donald Trump will make certain that the torch of American opportunity illuminates every city, every town, and every community in this blessed land.
So yeah, very
Hi,
much
I'm
sounding
Ryan
like a
Holitz.
politician there.
I'm a police officer from New Mexico.
Oh.
In
Here we go.
2017, I had an encounter that changed my life forever. I had just started my shift and responded to a call for service at a gas station. When I arrived, I saw a man and a woman sitting on a grassy slope. I recognized the telltale signs, a needle, a spoon. I knew immediately that they were preparing to inject themselves with heroin.
Uh-oh.
Sadly, this is a common sight for me. I encounter the ravages of addiction
Albuquerque,
every
I
day.
have heard, is
But
pretty bad,
nothing
but it's one of
could
the top
prepare me
crime
for what I
cities.
discovered as I approached them.
Is this the thing about
The
Democrat-run
woman was
cities?
very pregnant.
I mean, they're going to
In
probably
my
hit
shock-
the same kind of talking points, like the Democrat-run cities, socialism creeping in America, Joe Biden being senile. Like all those same points are going to be hit time and time again. The Democrats have no policy, which is some of them like they are rooted in truth. And they're going to hit everything from every different angle and just see what sticks at this point, because somebody's got to stick. Because they're trying to. There are some things in here that are still trying to hold in those kind of working class voters that went from Trump to Obama, like the Lordstown guy there as well, and some class messages as well. But there is a lot of this kind of suburban kind of pandering stuff. I do want to see what this police officer
She
says.
confided that she loved her unborn baby. She wanted the best for her child.
She was addicted
In
to
that
heroin.
moment, I saw her the way that all of you
It's
who
abortion.
know and love
That's
an
what
addict
I'm
see them. As fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, cousins, and friends.
A Republican convention
human
message of
beings,
compassion.
Full of value and
Addicts are
dignity,
human beings? What?
of their potential by
This
disease.
seems weird coming from a Republican.
When Crystal said that she was looking for a family to adopt her baby, God showed me exactly what I had to do. Without hesitation, I told her that my family would welcome her baby through
This
adoption.
seems very religious,
Today,
but respect.
our beautiful daughter Hope is a thriving 2-year-old. Crystal is fast approaching 3 years of recovery. She is a dear friend and a constant inspiration to me and others. I hold a special place in my heart for those facing opioid addiction, and
That's
that's
very
why
nice.
I'm enormously grateful to the president
I like
for his
him.
leadership in fighting this deadly enemy.
The addicts are
Through his
human
efforts,
being
we're turning the tide on
lines
the crisis of addiction.
are very
President
weird in
Trump
the Republican.
declared the opioid crisis to be a public health emergency and then secured $6 billion in new federal funding to help Americans fight opioid abuse. He invested an additional $100 million to stop the opioid crisis in rural America. And in a move that strikes at the root of the problem, he implemented a safer prescribing plan aimed at reducing opioid prescriptions by over a third within 3 years. This is an effort that stops addiction before it ever gains a hold in someone's life. And it's having an impact. Drug overdose deaths decreased in 2018 for the first time in 30 years. Many of the states hardest hit by the opioid crisis.
I don't know too
are
much
seeing
about how
the
he
largest
handled this,
drop
but did
in
he
deaths.
prosecute the
We're seeing
pharmaceutical
that
companies? Did he
doctors
go
are
after the
writing fewer
Sacklers?
prescriptions for
I don't really
opioid
know,
pain
and
drugs.
I think that's a big
These
part of
are
it.
significant
I mean, taking
improvements
action on these, and I
that
also
have
don't know how much
meaningful
Obama did. I mean, if he let the crisis fester, that's awful,
I
awful.
think
But I'm sure
we are
Obama
fortunate, America,
took
to
some
have a president
basic
who cares
steps, which is
deeply
really
for
what
the
he did here. He took some
downtrodden
kind of basic
and who
steps to
works
respond to a crisis
tirelessly to
that
find
his
solutions.
aides probably gave
A
him.
president
Like
who
that's
doesn't just
something that a
talk
president, the basic
about
thing a
problems,
president should
but
do.
stops and
But
helps.
Did
President
I don't know.
Trump
I
is
honestly
the
do
leader
not know
we needed
Obama's
the
record on
last
the
4
opioid
years,
crisis. I'm sure he
and
signed
he is
some
the
bill.
leader
He
we
had
need
to have
for the
signed some
next
bills about
4.
it. It was a
You
massive
see,
crisis, especially in the
Donald
second
Trump
term.
is the right president at the right time. Let's
Doesn't
make
make any
sure
sense.
he's reelected on November 3rd. I pray God's blessings on you and your family, and may God bless America.
Good evening. My
Oh.
name is Jeanette Nunez, and I'm proud to serve as Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Florida. Tonight, I'm